I think that the leading edge of design has gotten very far afield from the design is for what you do to create a product, to design is a form of thinking about any kind of issue or problem. And I was just going to ask you, one, does that make sense or resonate? Is that consistent? And where, and if it is, where do you see the frontier of design thinking at this point?
Yeah, so yes, I think that's true, and that's the reason we went with the term design thinking, to separate us from design.
Yeah.
IDEO has plenty of designers, but you get the designers irritated with you if you say that a doctor can do design thinking. That bothers them because this is my talent, right? And so we had to make that careful. But yeah, I think that I just think that it's back to this human-centered thing, that a designer's human-centered kind of approach has led us to do other things, like how to make the experience of taking the train or taking the experience of checking into a hospital, you say. All of those are the same mindfulness around the details. I mean, so in the old, what happened was, so if we were to do, let's say, a train, they used to give us the task of designing the seats or the tray tables, right?
Yeah.
And now it's the same. And what we had to do to understand how to make those extraordinary, we use the same method to look at, like, we design the experience of taking the train. So we look at, what the advertising looks like to find out about it. We like waiting on getting to the train station, waiting on the platform, boarding, like on the train and finding your way out of the station. Those are all places. There were all points along the customer journey that you can innovate in. And so those are a whole bunch of design projects put together. And so I think it was a natural move, and these companies could see that there was a spark to the way the designers worked on things. Yeah. Why not apply that spark to the other things in their company? As far as where it's going to go next, I mean, I'm still trying to absorb creative confidence. There was design thinking, and now there's creative confidence for us. But I don't know where it's going to lead, but I do know that it's up the human-centered approach. A lot of the stuff that we're doing in K-12 and other places, we realize that the social emotional learning part, getting people to understand that makes the whole thing work. The whole network of people work together if that people are sensitive to that. The social emotional aspects, as well as the business and the technology and all this. So I think it's around. Next thing for us is around social emotional learning. The other thing is around teaching. Like all of our exec eds now, we make the people who just learned design thinking teach it the last day, and somehow that puts it more, makes it more. So it's
that's a good trick.
It's a great story. So it's our exec ed is 4 days. Starts on a Tuesday, goes to Friday, right? And now on Tuesday we put out an ad. Free D.school workshop on the net. Free D.school workshop on Friday. We don't tell them that the people teaching them haven't started to learn what design thinking is yet because it's Tuesday. Right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hey.
So that we go through the process, and we always do, and it's really effective. And then we don't tell them, but on Thursday we tell them, look, on Friday there's 600 people coming. We're going to divide them up into groups, and you got to teach them what design thinking is, right? And we really believe that. I had this notion. Lots of people had this notion, not just me, but that my TAs in my classes have a better education than the kids that don't get a TA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And so why don't everybody gets to be a TA, right, is the kind of main notion. But the funny part of that is, so I'm standing in the D.school, and there's a kid looking at me. You can tell the kid, recognizes me and wants to talk to me, so I go up to him. I said, who are you? And he says, I just came in from Chile for the free workshop.